Welcome, miladies of inestimable value. You can outplay the fool, outsmart the clever, but you'll never outmaneuver someone who rewrites the rules as they go. Sigma females aren't just unpredictable. They're the glitch in the matrix you didn't see coming. Studies show that people who operate outside traditional social hierarchies like Sigmas are often the hardest to manipulate because they don't play by the same emotional or psychological playbook as everyone else. Translation: you think you're playing checkers, but she's been playing 4D chess the entire time. Trying to outplay a Sigma female is like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. Impressive idea, disastrous execution. You'll think you've won, only to realize you were never even in the game. By the time you figure out what's happening, she's already 10 steps ahead, sipping tea and wondering why you thought you had a chance. Buckle up, because these 10 reasons will make you think twice before underestimating her ever again. Number 1. They understand you better than you understand yourself. A Sigma female will understand you in ways that will leave you unsettled. She doesn't just hear your words, she reads between them, decoding the things you don't even realize you're revealing. It's not magic. It's an eerie mix of observation, intuition, and razor-sharp logic. Your habits, your tone, the way you phrase things, they're all like open tabs in her mental browser, and she's quietly scrolling through each one without you even noticing. By the time you think you've made a clever move, she's already mapped out the reasons behind it and figured out where you're going next. What makes this unnerving is how effortless it seems for her. She doesn't try to study you, it just happens. It's like her brain is wired to detect inconsistencies, spot motives, and connect dots that other people don't even know exist. And while most people are too busy focusing on how they present themselves, she's watching how you respond when you think no one's paying attention. The result? She knows you better than you know yourself. This isn't about control or manipulation. It's survival. Sigma females don't blindly trust anyone, so they've trained themselves to study the world and the people in it. But don't get it twisted. This isn't about exposing you or playing mind games. It's more like she's created a mental blueprint of who you are, and if you try to fool her, she'll know before you even start. It's not just intimidating, it's disarming because you'll realize she understands the sides of you that you don't show anyone else. And that's the catch. You can't play someone who already knows every card in your hand, including the one you're hiding up your sleeve. Number 2. They learn faster than you can plan. Sigma females process information like their minds are running on high-speed Wi-Fi while everyone else is stuck with dial-up. They don't just learn, they absorb, adapt, and evolve faster than you can keep up. What you see as a carefully crafted strategy is, to her, just a temporary puzzle piece that's easily rearranged. She doesn't need weeks to figure out your moves or motives. She's already dissected them before you finished the first round. It's not just intelligence, it's the way she uses it. She's a quick study, not just of facts, but of people, systems, and loopholes. Patterns jump out at her like neon signs, and the moment she spots one, she knows how to exploit it. While you're stuck fine-tuning your plan, she's already 3 versions ahead of you, adjusting her approach to stay 5 steps ahead. This ability to learn on the fly makes her impossible to corner. Even if you manage to throw her off briefly, she recalibrates so quickly it feels like she never stumbled in the first place. And here's the kicker. She makes it look effortless. While you're scrambling to recover from her counter, she's calmly watching you flounder, not out of malice, but because she already saw it coming. You can't outplan someone whose mind is a step-by-step demolition crew for strategies. Every move you make becomes another lesson for her to master and improve upon. It's not just that she learns faster. It's that by the time you realize she's outmaneuvered you, she's already moved on to the next level, leaving you wondering how you even thought you had a chance. Number 3. They operate in layers you'll never see. Sigma females are like walking enigmas, operating in layers so intricate, most people don't even know there's a game being played. She doesn't announce her moves or seek attention. She moves in silence, calculating her steps in ways that are practically invisible to everyone else. While others operate on a single, predictable level, She's already restructured the entire playing field, stacking hidden strategies on top of each other, like a house of cards only she can control. Her unpredictability isn't an act, it's her default setting. One moment, she's in the spotlight, commanding attention with her quiet confidence. The next, she's retreated into the shadows, observing everything with an intensity that borders on unsettling. She knows exactly when to make herself seen and when to disappear, and that ability to shift gears without warning keeps everyone guessing. What's more disarming is that she doesn't need to explain her moves to anyone. She operates on a need-to-know basis, and frankly, you probably don't need to know. By the time you think you've figured her out, she's already dismantled your assumptions and shifted the dynamics to favor her. This isn't just a game of intellect, it's a game of control. She's not interested in following your rules because she's too busy rewriting them in ways you won't notice until it's too late. It's not about being manipulative. It's about being several steps ahead of anyone who tries to box her in. Her strength lies in her ability to remain a mystery, even to those who think they know her well. And when you can't predict someone's moves, you'll never stand a chance of outplaying them. Number 4. They're invisible until it's too late. Sigma females have mastered the art of invisibility, not in the literal sense, but in a way that makes them almost undetectable until the moment they decide to step into view. They don't seek validation, applause, or the spotlight, which gives them the freedom to observe everything without anyone noticing they're watching. While others are busy showing off their every move, she's quietly piecing together the entire puzzle, one subtle clue at a time. What makes her truly dangerous is her ability to blend into the background while staying completely in control. She doesn't waste energy on theatrics or trying to impress. Instead, she watches, learns, and prepares in silence. The conversations you thought were insignificant? She remembers every detail. The moves you thought were clever? She's already dismantled them in her mind. By the time you realize she's in the game, she's already checkmated you 3 moves ago. Her silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. While others compete for attention and burn themselves out, she's conserving energy and biding her time. She doesn't need to broadcast her intentions because she knows the most effective moves are the ones you never see coming. And when she finally steps in, it's not just to win, it's to make sure you never even realized there was a game until it was over. This quiet power is what makes her impossible to outplay. She doesn't just take control, she does it so seamlessly that you're left wondering how it all happened. It's not just about staying invisible, it's about being the calm force pulling the strings in a room full of chaos. And by the time you notice her, she's already moved on to the next challenge, leaving you in the dust without even trying. Number 5. They can flip the script instantly. A Sigma female doesn't just play the game, she rewrites it mid-match. And you won't even realize it until you're left holding pieces that don't fit anymore. Just when you think you're in control, riding high on the illusion of victory, she flips the entire narrative like a plot twist you never saw coming. She's not reactive, she's adaptive, and her ability to turn the tables is so swift and seamless that it feels less like a strategy and more like a force of nature. It's not just about reversing the power dynamic, it's about shifting the very foundation of the situation. She'll take your carefully constructed plans, dissect them in real time, and reassemble the pieces into something that serves her purpose instead. And here's the kicker. She does it without breaking a sweat, leaving you scrambling to figure out how she unraveled everything you worked so hard to control. This ability isn't accidental. It's rooted in her capacity to stay calm under pressure. While most people panic or double down when the stakes are high, she thrives in chaos, using it as a playground for her creativity. If you think you've got her cornered, she'll remind you that she doesn't operate on linear paths. She's always prepared with a side door or an entirely new exit you didn't know existed. The real shock comes when you realize she's not even playing to win the way you are. For her, it's about mastery, about staying unshakable regardless of the circumstances. And when she flips the script, she's not just taking control of the situation, she's making sure you understand that you were never really in control to begin with. Number 6. They're built for long games. Sigma females don't bother with short-term victories because they're too busy mastering the art of longevity. While most people get caught up in chasing quick wins and immediate results, she's already planning a future that most wouldn't even dare to consider. Her mindset isn't just strategic, it's practically surgical. Every decision she makes, every step she takes, is part of a bigger plan that unfolds slowly, steadily, and with precision. She's not in a rush because she understands that real success takes time, patience, and a ridiculous amount of self-control. Instant gratification doesn't tempt her. She knows that shortcuts often lead to dead ends. While others are busy celebrating small wins, she's quietly laying the groundwork for something far greater, something that lasts. And because she's playing the long game, she's always 10 steps ahead, anticipating outcomes and adjusting her strategy long before anyone else has even figured out the rules. This patience is her secret weapon. She doesn't get rattled by setbacks or distractions because she sees them for what they are, temporary obstacles, not permanent defeats. To her, the real power lies in persistence, in the ability to outlast everyone else. And because she's not chasing the same goals as everyone else, she's free to move at her own pace, unbothered by the noise around her. By the time you realize what she's been building, it's already too late. Her victory isn't just about winning, it's about doing so in a way that ensures no one can ever take it away from her. And that's the thing about Sigma females. They don't just play the long game, they own it, turning patience and foresight into their greatest strengths. Number 7. They're hard to predict, harder to trap. Trying to outmaneuver a Sigma female is an exercise in frustration. She's not just unpredictable, she's a walking contradiction of strategies that seem to shift the moment you think you've figured her out. She has no single formula, no pattern you can pin down, and that's what makes her so impossible to trap. One moment she's direct and decisive, the next she's elusive and unreadable. It's not inconsistency, it's adaptability, and it's her most potent weapon. What sets her apart is her ability to think in layers. She doesn't just respond to what's happening in the moment. She's anticipating your next 3 moves and preparing her counter before you've even committed to your plan. This ability to pivot effortlessly is why you'll never see her backed into a corner. She always has an exit, a backup, or a curveball that leaves you second-guessing everything. It's not just her mental agility that makes her hard to pin down, it's her emotional discipline. You can't exploit what you can't read, and with her, you'll find no obvious tells, no impulsive reactions to latch onto. She's mastered the art of keeping her intentions locked away, and even when she's caught off guard, she's quick to regain control and recalibrate. The harder you try to trap her, the more obvious it becomes that she was never in the space you thought she occupied. She moves like water, shaping herself to fit the situation, slipping through cracks, and finding paths where none seem to exist. Outthinking her is like chasing a shadow. By the time you think you've caught her, she's already somewhere else, planning her next move with the kind of precision that leaves you baffled. Number 8. They don't care about winning your game. A Sigma female's greatest power lies in her indifference to the games other people try to play. She's not here to compete on your terms, follow your rules, or chase after trophies that mean nothing to her. You might think you've set the stakes, defined the win, and figured out how to bait her, but here's the twist. She's already decided your game isn't worth her time. What makes her unshakable is her complete lack of attachment to external validation. She doesn't crave applause, admiration, or even acknowledgement. Her victories are personal, and the only person she's trying to impress is herself. So when you come at her with strategies designed to provoke, distract, or trap, you're wasting your energy. She's too busy playing her own game, one that operates on a completely different level than anything you could imagine. The problem for anyone trying to manipulate her is that she doesn't want what you're offering: prestige, power, status. She sees through the illusion of those prizes and recognizes them for what they often are: shallow distractions. Her focus is on things that have depth and meaning, things that align with her own values. And because she's immune to the bait, you can't control her, no matter how clever you think your plan is. This mindset is what leaves most people utterly perplexed. They're used to competitors who fight for the same goals, who play by the same rules, who care about winning at all costs. But she's not here to win your game. She's here to master her own, on her own terms. And if that means walking away from the table while everyone else is still scrambling for scraps, so be it. For her, the ultimate victory is freedom, and she's already won. Number 9. Loyalty is earned, not given. Loyalty from a Sigma female isn't something you get just because you're charming, or because you've said the right things at the right time. It's not a freebie. It's not something that can be bought with empty gestures or flattery. For her, loyalty is a currency, one that's earned slowly and carefully over time by those who show real integrity and prove themselves worthy of it. She doesn't believe in giving it away freely or without merit. And if you think you can earn it by making a few smooth moves, you're in for a harsh reality check. Her loyalty is a reflection of her values, and it's not something she takes lightly. She's been through enough to know that people who are truly worthy of her commitment are rare. She'll give you her trust only when you've shown time and time again that you're someone she can rely on. Someone who respects her, who values her independence, and who doesn't take her loyalty for granted. And if you think you can win her over with a few nice words or grand gestures, forget it. She sees through that like glass. But the real kicker? Once you betray that trust, once you've crossed the line with her, that's it. There's no fixing it, no heartfelt apologies or second chances. She's not the type to hold grudges, but she's also not the type to let anyone back in after they've shown they can't be trusted. Once she's done, you're cut off, permanently. You won't even get the satisfaction of an explanation because she's already moved on, and your spot in her life is gone. With a Sigma female, loyalty is rare, but it's also one of the most powerful things you'll ever earn. But be warned, once you've lost it, it's gone for good. And in her world, that's something no one can afford. Number 10. No emotional hooks to exploit. When it comes to emotional manipulation, a Sigma female is a fortress. Guilt trips, flattery, or attempts to play on her insecurities. All of it slides off her like water on stone. She's put in the work. She's faced her demons, owned her flaws, and doesn't rely on anyone else's validation to feel complete. Her emotional foundation is rock solid, and she knows exactly who she is, so any attempt to sway her with manipulation falls flat. You can't guilt her into doing something she doesn't want to do. You can't flatter her into changing her mind. And you definitely can't play on her feelings to get what you want. Why? Because she has no emotional hooks to exploit. You're trying to get her to react, to feel something that could make her vulnerable, but the truth is, she's already stepped past the need for external validation. She's not heartless. She's just emotionally autonomous, and that makes her untouchable. This emotional independence is what makes her so powerful. When someone's emotions are under someone else's control, they're always at the mercy of those around them. But a Sigma female isn't vulnerable in that way. She's the one who holds the power because her emotional world doesn't rely on anyone else's input. And the moment someone realizes they can't manipulate her emotions, that's the moment they lose all their leverage. No amount of emotional games can make her bend or break. She's already been through that phase and has come out the other side stronger for it. So while others may still be playing their emotional tricks, she's already one step ahead, unbothered and focused on her own path. You can't control her if you can't touch her heart. And trust me, her heart, it's got no strings for you to pull. In the end, trying to play with a Sigma female isn't just futile. It's an exercise in underestimating the depth of someone who operates far beyond the surface. She's not interested in the superficial games others play, and she's not swayed by the usual tricks people use to gain control or manipulate. With her, every move is deliberate, every decision is hers, and every ounce of trust and loyalty is carefully earned. She's a master of her own world, and if you try to step into it with the wrong intentions, you'll quickly realize you're not even playing the same game. Her strength lies in her independence, her sharp mind, and her ability to move through life without relying on anyone else's approval or validation. She doesn't need you, and that's exactly what makes her so powerful. If you want to truly understand a Sigma female, stop trying to outsmart her or play by your own rules. Learn to respect the game she's playing, because by the time you've figured out how to keep up, she's already 5 steps ahead. And she's been playing it all along on her terms, with no intention of stopping. Trying to control her is like trying to trap air in your hands. It's futile, and no matter how tightly you squeeze, it will always slip through your fingers. Instead, if you want to win with a Sigma female, you'll have to play by her rules, or better yet, learn to embrace the beauty of being truly untouchable. If you've made it this far, you're probably starting to see the power and brilliance of a Sigma female in a whole new light. Don't let that knowledge slip away. Make sure you're staying ahead of the game. Hit that subscribe button and join a community that's all about diving deep, challenging the status quo, and uncovering the extraordinary. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Trust me, you won't find content like this anywhere else. Stay tuned, and let's keep exploring the things that make the world of Sigma females not just fascinating, but unstoppable. Thanks for watching, m'ladies. See you in the next video. Bye for now, and God bless.